Happy flickin' Friday,
Hi.
friends. Welcome to the Swiftwing Speakeasy. Here, the only thing you can predict is a good time. We are your source for news, reviews, and daily discourse. However, on Fridays, it is more often disorder than discourse. So please join in the conversation as we discuss life, liberty, and the pursuit of fandom. Better fandom, let's say that. As always, if you want to support this channel as the world falls apart, please leave your questions and comments on our Streamlab link provided in the description of this video. Quick plugs. Number one, check out our Sandman episode reactions that have been distributed quite well by our good friend Sean Wingblade and co-host and producer. Really, he's the reason this channel stays alive. And point number two, please check out the latest episode if you've never seen it either on YouTube or our audio platforms with Allison Salamoni, part 3 of the trio. This week was Swiss Army Man, I believe, with guest Dan Nye, the movie guy. So check that out. No news and views tomorrow. You boys busy. But other than
Busy
that,
boy.
Colin, welcome to part 2 of our shenanigans tonight.
Steve Rogers fucks.
Yeah, he does. So does the movie Prey, as Allison would say.
I coined that term,
You
and
get
I
no
even
credit.
put it on a poster.
Typical Sean Wingblade,
Sean
stealing
Wingblade.
from womankind. Man, look at
That's
you. That's
not where I was going to go with that. Sorry, I was
Anyways, guys.
retweeting your tweet saying, "Hi, we're here."
All right. If you didn't know, guys, this is our whatever show where we talk about whatever. And on the headlines today is we're going to talk a little bit about She-Hulk. We're going to spoil the shit out of Sandman and ruin Colin's life because he's only now.
Wait, hold on.
With this bonus.
Can we just talk about Game of Thrones and then I promise I'll leave and go watch Sandman?
I was going to say officially as of today, you went. This doesn't usually happen. After a season concludes, you went from being 8 episodes behind to being 9 episodes behind. without a new
That's
season.
insane.
After the
Listen,
season's
I
a
wake
week-
up
a- 2
every
weeks
morning and I
later.
do the same thing. I go to the bathroom. Okay, I go to the bathroom when I wake up and I look at YouTube and I see who's posted some reviews. Did Real Rejects drop something at 9 a.m.? Who dropped some stuff? Did Marquise Brownlee drop a new phone review? The good shit. Today it was the She-Hulk reviews. They all dropped. Bang, 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 bang. YouTube came around hot. But you know what came around? That Sandman trailer. And it was like bonus episodes. And I was like, you sick bitches. Like, I haven't even finished it. And you guys are already dropping more.
What's
How
cool
is
is we could talk about this. Well, Sean, you still haven't seen it, right?
I still haven't seen it, but I'm
Right.
going to be editing a review later so that you can watch this
Hey.
tomorrow morning right here on this very channel.
That's right.
Tempo, it's about cats. You can come back.
Yeah, that's right. I could honestly talk about this episode because it is too. So, for people that aren't aware, the Sandman series takes place over the course of the first 2 volumes of the comics, Preludes and Nocturnes, and then goes into Doll's House. And then after the 3rd volume is Dream Country, and Dream Country is largely anthologies that are very standalone.
I just finished it, by the way. I finished the Act 2 of the Audible.
Nice.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
I felt like it dragged in the very final, like the final storyline. It
The
wasn't
one with
like,
like the chic or whatever.
yeah, it wasn't
Yeah.
like climactic.
Sure.
So I wonder if they do that if they do season 2 and they put that in. I wonder since it does, the timeline doesn't matter. They can totally reorganize that. It actually
I
takes
think-
place immediately after he escapes.
A lot
Anyway,
of the
so they could reorganize it.
a lot of
Can I
the-
make an ignorant comment?
yeah.
Yeah, you can. Feel
Okay.
free. That's what we're here for.
Okay. So, one of my favorite shows in terms of like the idea of the show and the ceiling the show has, to take a sports metaphor for lack of a better one, is Doctor Who. In terms of what the show can do and what the show can be. I feel like Legends of Tomorrow was kind of like the Doctor Who of the CW, where
Sure.
they were just kind of going week by week, doing different shit. I think Sandman has that ability to be Black Mirror meets Doctor Who in the DC universe, and we could be getting Sandman content for a long time. Like I went to my local library, quick, whatever. It's fucking speakeasy. When I go to work and I know I'm only going to be there for less than an hour for like a meeting at the office, and then I come back home and I work, I park at the library for free parking because it's closer than where I usually park when I know I'm going to be there longer.
Sure.
And when I park at the library, I go inside and I go to the graphic novel section. And there's something so genuine that I love that carries over from my childhood of going to the library and finding something you never knew existed. Every issue of Sandman is fucking gone. But you know what's there? The weird Sandman shit that nobody knows what it is. It's just the shit that says the Sandman on it, but it's not like linked to anything. There's so much there. There is so much for them to be able to link into otherworldly shit, for lack of a better word. And this is the perfect vessel, and I think the perfect character for them to be able to do that, because he does feel like the Doctor to me in a way. And I don't just mean, I haven't seen Jenna Coleman yet on screen, and what I've seen, and as somebody, she's one of my favorite companions in Doctor Who history, but Morpheus, he just totally feels to me like a Doctor Who-esque type guy that, like, any type of sticky situation you could put him in and he would find some tricky way to get it done or get it fixed. And I'd watch seasons of that.
Yes, in ways. I see what you're saying. And just kind of the, like, occasionally having a through line, but being able to sidestep and have standalone stories. And I think the first season of Sandman did a better job even than the original source material at stitching more story together than what was originally connected.
Weaving a coherent through line, at least.
And I can tell because I've read the source material, so it's like I can tell what they're doing. So like when Boyd Holbrook is on screen for as much as he is in the first episode, you're like, oh, okay, they're doing something different here, but they're being respectful while they're doing it, which is something I think is so keen on when you're seeing people adapt material that I think like Preacher has done extremely well, that the boys have done extremely well. Invincible, I'm taking all the Seth Rogen, productions, but like they take the source material and respect it. And I think that's something that has carried over, hopefully, into the DC scape, that they can respect the source material. And this has, at least from what
it works so well the way they use the connective tissue to, because also like listening to it and then watching it, and like to me at least being so new to it, the very first episode with Charles Dance's character,
Roger,
I'm just like how would this random warlock, there are obviously into witchcraft and otherworldly thing, how would they know to do any of this stuff? But it makes more sense the way they weave in the Corinthian to basically kind of give them a head start. Like, hey, do some of this, do some of that. Read that book over there.
Really plays it up to like how amateur they really are in the grand scope of things. Because Roger is like, well, we have a binding circle, and he's like, a binding circle.
That's cute.
Oh, anyone
who has seen Supernatural knows that they always get washed away somehow.
I was going to say, like, Supernatural, totally acceptable reference. I was going to go back to Jonah Hill, and This Is the End. Yep, and then, like, Jay Baruchel was like, the power of Christ compels you. He's like, really, Jay? Does it? I don't feel very compelled. And it was just, like, the more serious version of that. And I was like, it's so good, because it was... I'm doing an unfortunately really good job of rereading as I'm watching at the same pace. And so when you're seeing the parallels of the story to itself, and boy, does nothing fucks up your dreams like reading Sandman before going.
That sounds
nothing. When Loki drops into the sanctum, he's like, I've been falling for 30 minutes. That's how I felt, but it was like I was falling for 7 hours in an endless Sandman dream, and it was just wild.
And Loki comes into the Sandman in Season of Mists.
Yeah,
Volume 4. Listen, that is some. I'm ready. Like, look, I honestly, I tore through. I've been really watching Better Call Saul a lot recently over my summer break that I get from work, and it's just I needed something that I don't want to end, and Sandman is now that thing where I might make this last as long as possible.
By the time
I know
season 2 comes around, hopefully. Actually, no, you need to watch it so we get season 2.
Yeah, we need more views on it.
Because
we need it to be number 1 in more countries.
Sandman.
that's Netflix's fault. We can talk about that.
100%.
Like, Netflix has a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Netflix has a real problem with thinking that their shit don't stink in terms of like we can put out anything and people will watch it no matter if they know it's coming or not. They just did that with Cobra Kai yesterday, and they were like, "Hey, here's the Cobra Kai trailer. Guess what? It comes out in 13 days. Strap the fuck in."
Mm-hmm.
Like that just seems like their strategy where they don't have like the Sandman present should have been at Comic-Con. You know, I mean, COVID with notwithstanding, like there should have been a huge thing of last year should have been the Sandman Comic-Con where everybody gets built up to it, but instead it's last month.
And they shouldn't.
And then it leads into this.
Well, like the first full trailer for Sandman dropped like a month before the show.
Yeah, like and that's fucking ridiculous. Now you could tell me that a lot of this show was CGI based.
That's more
for
than
Netflix,
most, though. For Netflix,
yeah.
Netflix just puts things out. You never know what's coming. But they made such a great decision with Stranger Things advertising that, hey, we're going to put this out 1 month apart, and the finale, the next 4 hours of content is not going to come out for a month.
That should be their move. I think they probably didn't have a good enough thing to do it.
They didn't do it for the Sandman, and it was the perfect, because episode 6 was the perfect palate cleanser to then roll into the second half of the season, which is a completely different story. Morpheus, you know, he's finished his first half. He's off to
1 through 5
half.
is definitely preludes and nocturnes,
mm-hmm.
or 1 through 6 even. And then like Doll's House is definitely the back half of the season, and they feel like 2 different seasons.
Man, because can we just talk about the weight? The weight is so important, and I think it's something that like
it's
I have never been more exactly like we get like it's not a transition, but like House of the Dragon is coming out on Sunday, like and it's 1 episode.
I missed that about Game of Thrones. When Game of Thrones was on, it was the only thing I had.
The only thing anybody talked about.
It was the only 100%. Thing that I had in common with my work friends.
I think the worst thing.
I come to work and talk about Game of Thrones.
Exactly. I think the worst thing that happened to Sandman was that it got caught in the middle of a genre dick measuring contest between HBO and Amazon. Because every time
and Disney Plus.
Amazon put out a trailer, well, no, because no. Disney Plus can try, but the tent poles of television that are Game of Thrones and just genre in general of Lord of the Rings, Disney has catching up to do in that department.
Sure.
Like the ability of those 2 franchises to put out a trailer, and then within like literally 36 hours, the other one would put out a trailer. And it was like that for like 2 weeks of like content war that we got like 4 trailers for both of those shows. And then we got extended Comic-Con trailers for both of those shows, which were arguably the best trailers of the show. The Comic-Con Game of Thrones trailer or House of the Dragon trailer that starts with like the like the dope beat and all that shit. And then the Lord of the Rings trailer for Comic-Con was definitely the best Lord of the Rings trailer we had gotten yet. And then Sandman's like, "Hi, hey y'all, how's it going? I'm the thing y'all want to watch, right?" And then you're like, "Yes, I really do want to watch you, Sandman." But at the same time, these other 2 dicks are fucking huge, and I want to go see them. Like it should. Sorry, I'm being Kevin Smith on the internet right now, and I don't feel shameful about it.
Honestly, that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
But like that's what it was, and Sandman just kind of crept in there.
Merv in the Audible. Of Sandman.
Oh, bingo. I was very confused. I was
Great
like,
connection.
It is Mark Hamill in the show.
And this weekend,
earlier you mentioned
tickets.
Doctor Who and Legends of Tomorrow featuring Arthur Darvill, who was in episode 11 that just dropped.
Can I tell you, Sean, did you see that they dropped the cast list for House of a Thousand Cats, or not Dream of a Thousand Cats? I mean,
I saw a screen grab with like 4 or 5 different actors on it. Yeah,
you saw that James McAvoy got to do a voice.
Whoa!
I didn't read it. I just saw his picture, so I figured he was going to be part of it.
Lit.
He's Morpheus in the Audible. So that's why it's so fun.
Ah, that's so dope.
You got to voice a cat. That's cool.
This is just so much fun. I can't remember another time where so many things I gave a shit about are going on at the same time. Like I mentioned, Westworld just ended its fourth season. Regardless of how shitty the last 2 episodes of that season were, the first 6 episodes of Westworld season 4, I genuinely had an amazing time and really felt like Westworld was back. And then I remembered Nolan was writing and the ending was just a piece of hot garbage. And then you had Better Call Saul.
Only halfway through episode 1
of Westworld in general, or season 4?
Of season 4. I just haven't. I haven't caught back up yet.
I'm really sad. You really do feel like episodes 1 through 6 are, they're back in their bag, and then they have to land the ship like every other millennial storyteller for the last 20 years, and they have no idea how to fucking land the ship. Unlike Vince Gilligan and Peter Gould on Better Call Saul, who somehow found a way to create an epilogue for a show that ended 10 years ago. Like that, they truly somehow found a beautiful way for the last 4 episodes of Better Call Saul to not only end Better Call Saul, but also end Breaking Bad. And you just see the extent of what television can be. And Sandman has somehow found its way in that way of being fandom, fan servicey, while also being deep intellectual storytelling, which is something shows really have to work on and really try to earn trust. But I think Sandman had something like Better Call Saul would not exist without Breaking Bad. That was something that like television will never have the ability to carry over the goodwill of a finale into another show and carry that over and have a show be successful. What, Frasier maybe? I know it's not Joey. There aren't many shows on television that can carry a character from another show and make it be as successful, if not more successful. Maybe, and we'll see if maybe House of the Dragon can do it. But for Sandman to be able to carry over the literal text and to be the first real visual showing of it in visual media and have it be as positively received as it is, I think is really important. Like that's really hard to do.
But Better Call Saul takes place before.
But it is a show that's fine.
So
but it is a show that
happened before Breaking Bad.
No. My point being that the people. Okay.
I've never seen Breaking Bad or Better Call Saul, so I don't.
What?
Yeah, I recorded.
Colin died.
I recorded the whole first season of Breaking Bad when it came out. What was it, 2008 or something? Whenever it first came out.
That's like buying a Babe Ruth rookie card in 1926. Like you had the gold.
I tried. I want to say I watched at least the first 2 or 3 episodes, and I just
until you see Walt choke the guy up against the pole, you don't really understand what show you're watching.
Sure, when I was still watching it, the first few, it was still just Bryan Cranston cooking meth in his underwear.
Well, I think one of the problems with Breaking Bad is everyone's talking about like I started watching around like season 4, 3 or 4.
Season 4 is when it got put on net. Season 4 was the first new season that people could watch after it got put on Netflix.
Yeah.
So the first 3 seasons get put on Netflix, and then 4 is the first new one. But guess what? By then, Bryan Cranston had already won 3 fucking Emmys for Best Actor.
Yeah.
While Don Draper is out here big dicking society. It was crazy. I don't know. It's just like there's just so many weird parallels in all of these mediums that we're watching right now. Like with Better Call Saul being the transition, and now we're going to get House of the Dragon being that carryover from Game of Thrones. We're going to get Lord of the Rings.
I don't know if Steve was out there slinging as much as
Pete. Wait. So out of this group, am I the only one that's seen bodies?
bodies.
Somebody
Yes,
just told me,
but
yo, you
it
are the
looks funny.
second person in 48 hours to tell me to watch Bodies.
I didn't tell you that. I said, am I the only person that's watched it? I didn't tell you to watch
You're
it.
the second person.
I didn't know what it
brought
was, and I started watching the trailer on like Twitter or something. I can't remember. You know, auto plays or whatever. And like so and so, someone gets killed, and then she's like, "Oh my god, she's dying!" And she's like, "Oh my god, make it all about you."
So
it had me roll.
Oh, what's up, Maddie Gunner? What's poppin', baby?
Bodies is absolutely like a B grade Gen Z horror comedy stuff. It's
I've
very
heard it's a
specific-
slasher movie for people that don't like slasher movies.
probably,
Which is, I do not like
Well-
slasher movies. I hate horror movies. Stranger
Yeah.
Things is the scariest thing I'll watch.
anybody can watch this,
Yeah.
but here's my scale if you will enjoy it or not. The best thing I can come up with is if you enjoyed and watched Tucker and Dale versus Evil. That's the closest comparison I can make to this movie. With Alan Tudyk and I forget the other guy's name.
Yeah, the other guy's name. I forget his name as well all the time.
It is
is it only in theaters or is it
Tyler
streaming?
Labine?
Bodies.
Yeah,
It's in
You
theaters.
talking about Tyler Labine?
Yeah.
that sounds right. Yeah.
Anyways, it's fun, but I brought it up because you brought up Pete Davidson, and Pete Davidson was feeling a little intimidated by somebody else in the movie. He's like, dude, I'm not intimidated by him. I mean, look at me. I look like I fuck. Like, he doesn't look like he fucks, man. I'm not worried about it. That's what that reminded me of. It's funny. Anyways,
I love Pete Davidson, so.
it's fine.
He's always funny.
People
on
need to
SNL.
pay. I feel like Pete Davidson is ripe for like a Bob Odenkirk, 40 years old, like Robin Williams serious role. And we'll all be like, holy shit, the therapy worked. Like he was not in a great place like 7 years. Like, so when he started on SNL, he's been very open about like how not in a good place he was. And for him to be able to turn around and like be the guy he is now, and to get Judd Apatow to produce, was it King of Staten Island? Is that is that the name of the movie?
Yeah, with
And-
Bill Burr.
Yeah, like that's a guy that's kind of on like a real like Dogecoin rise, like real like sharp crypto upwards trajectory. And he was in Suicide Squad 2, right? Like, dude's been in shit.
Yeah, briefly. Curtis, do you mean Lee Pace? I know he's in the cast list. Are you talking about Lee Pace?
As the one that was intimidating him?
Yeah.
I think if I remember right.
Randall.
No, I mean,
Are we
Lee
talking
Pace
about-
is- I'm just trying to remember who he is.
Are we talking about Tucker and Dale versus Evil?
No, Lee Pace is in Bodies.
Oh, bodies.
Yeah.
Bodies.
Let the bodies
Thank you
hit
for
the
stopping me,
floor.
John. Always appreciate it.
Oh, it's still in theaters.
Yeah, it just came
Yeah.
out like 2 weeks ago.
Oh, okay. I love Lee Pace. I'm gonna throw this out to anybody, just
Pushing
like a
Daisies?
random. Nope.
Oh,
Halt and Catch Fire on AMC.
Oh, yeah.
Anyone?
no.
No, people have been raving about it. I've been hearing about it forever.
Okay, quick
with Mackenzie
pitch.
Davis.
If you love the feeling of the mid 35 to hour mark of Social Network where they're building a company,
It's not specific.
this is Lee Pace and Scoot McNairy building the first laptop.
Do you guys remember when Scoot McNairy
I just
set
bought a laptop.
photos leaked out for Batman vs Superman? Everyone's like, he's the Flash because he's wearing
He's
green
the
socks.
Flash.
and they had to CGI his feet because they're moving too fast.
Yo, he's my guy in Narcos Mexico. He fucking crushes Narcos Mexico. He's such a good actor.
Thor.
I noticed him and I was like, is that new? And he's so cute.
This is from Five Below. He's not even like a real one. I just like, yeah, $5.
It's not even a
I'll
real
buy that.
Funko Pop. It's like a
No, it's a
$5 below
$5. It's a
pop.
$5. Yeah, exactly. I was like, yeah, I can zip tie that to my microphone.
Guys, Game of Thrones comes back this weekend. Do you guys like Game of Thrones?
I like it. I didn't mind the 8th season. I never read the books. Well, so okay,
I've read
I
two and a half
but I
of the
didn't.
books.
So I was on what's the app for? Maybe it was just Google Books or something because I had an Android at the time. It wasn't like iTunes. I don't know. Anyway, what I did is I went on and I was like, let me start reading it, and I will see how much I like it. I think I had already finished season 1 or 2. I can't remember at the time. Maybe season 3. And yeah, because I already knew what I was reading. So I had finished season 3, and I think it was between seasons. And they offer you a free like trial, right? Like, here, try X amount of pages. Well, I got the trial for the 3-book set. So instead of giving me 10% of one book, they gave me 10% of the 3-book set.
So you got the whole first book.
So basically, I got the whole first book because I got like 300 pages on a trial. I was like, oh, perfect.
That's amazing.
So I started reading it, and I got to the part where basically I think they're taking Tyrion to her sister. I can't remember the names. To the Vale. They just captured Tyrion, and they're taking him to the Vale. And I was like, all right, I'm into this. Like, the trial is going to expire. Let me buy the book set. It was like $60 or something for like the whole series or however much it was. And literally never read another page after that. I don't know what it was. I don't know if I had gone back to work and I didn't have time to finish reading it or something. I just never finished reading the books. But I enjoyed the series for what it was. And
she went to see Liza Aaron. Yeah, he went to see Liza Aaron, and then he ends up in the cell that in the show you see is like has no wall.
Yeah, so I could, but after that I could never compare the two. Right. So I didn't know what was missing. I just enjoyed the show for what it was, and it was appointment viewing. I watched it at 6 p.m. Boom, every single week, every Sunday, which is pretty much what will be happening this week, especially if they're dropping it at a specific time.
Yep.
Instead of like at midnight or something. But
it is the 9. That's what I like about HBO. It is the 9 o'clock HBO show that just happens to show up on HBO Max. I feel like that's
6 p.m. for us on HBO Max.
Sure. Yeah. I just know, like, I've had trust my entire life, and this is something like thank whatever for my dad for trusting the 9 o'clock HBO appointment viewing. I have a very like weird relationship with Game of Thrones. The first time I ever saw it, I had like made an impromptu trip to go visit my dad who had just moved away. And I showed up super late on a Sunday. And I walk into this apartment that he had just moved into. My stepmom and brother were about to move there like 2 months later. So the only thing in this apartment were 2 tailgate chairs and a 3D TV.
I was about to say a lawn chair and a cooler.
Literally. So my dad's cooler is filled with beer. I've just turned 17 years old. I just driven from South Carolina to Maryland. And I walk in, and as I'm bringing my shit up, he's mid-episode. So he's paused the season finale of season 1 of Game of Thrones.
Okay.
And I sit down halfway through.
The sword is like here.
The sword is like there. And I'm like, the fuck is going on here? Like, we talk like enough. And you're not telling me about this? Like, you know, I like television. Like, I watched like the last 3 seasons of Sopranos with my dad. Like, I saw the last 3 seasons of Sopranos before I saw the first 6 or whatever it was.
Sopranos either.
Like, HBO was our shit. I watched all of Entourage on TV, like in its actual run. Like, I was a really messed up kid.
I went back
and then I walk in on my dad. And here's this naked blonde lady with 3 dragons. And I'm like, what are you watching? What is this? And he's like, bro, I can't even. I'm like, no, you better start evening.
You know how much I love naked blonde ladies. Come on.
Dad, you know that this would be my shit. And you didn't tell me a damn thing? Like, come on, man. So then I had to find it all. And then once I finally got on board, I went to college the next summer, and then season 3 was on, and it was on from there on. Season 3 on, I was locked in, and now I've never felt more confident because the episodes of this show that I've enjoyed watching the most, and I've gone back through some rewatches, are the Miguel Sapochnik episodes,
What?
and he's the guy running the show.
Speaking of Miguel O'Hara, new Across the Spider-Verse
Let's go!
poster
Oh
just
my god,
dropped.
what a transition! I
That
had a
just popped on
fucking
Twitter.
feeling, and it's why I said it. Oh my god, I had a feeling.
That's not a transition because I have a story to tell as well.
Okay.
Oh,
I'm gonna
that's
take it
like,
back.
what
That
a
is,
good-
I love that poster. That's sick.
that is
That just
sick.
dropped on Twitter.
I just saw
That
it
was
on
a few hours ago. I saw that
It
this
was.
afternoon.
I just saw it recently.
Oh, okay. Jesse, who directed Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse?
Well, you see, it was.
Oh man, he left.
Is that a reference I don't understand because I stopped watching a certain property?
Yes, it's a reference to a 2-point question he missed. Gets Brandon Hanna. He couldn't name one of the 3 directors. I could only name one of the 3, to be honest. I know only because I follow him on Twitter, Pete Ramsey. Let's bring it back. Nope, he took himself.
I can tell you.
Nope.
I can
He
tell
said,
you,
"Nope,
it's
I'm
not
out."
Phil Lord or Chris Miller.
No, they produced it.
They
so
produced the fuck
so-
out of that movie.
So Game of Thrones. Okay, so I had heard about Game of Thrones. I had heard about this awesome show from. I'm a cable guy, so I go inside customers' homes. I talk to
Cable
people.
guy.
I install their shit, and I stand there and while I'm waiting for things to load, and I'm talking to people. And I had heard Game of Thrones, and then all over social media, I'm like, Red Wedding. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what are these people talking about?
Dude, I didn't see
And-
until 3 was done.
So I had heard about all these things, and then that week I went out on baby bonding time because my daughter was just born, and the look on Jesse's face just now. I'm gonna go back and screenshot that in just a moment. I'm gonna do
It was amazing.
I wish I
life.
would have full screened it. I
So,
wish I would have had
I
the
don't-
word.
I don't-
My
I
hand
have
wasn't
to-
on the mouse.
I have to explain this first. Like, I felt the sneeze coming, and it was one of those ones where, as it came, and then it was hovering there, and it sent chills down my entire body, and my
Oh, we-
eyes
oh
started
my
watering.
God.
We can see it.
I would
So-
say something, but I'd like to get jobs in the future, so I'm not of things that I've done. And yes, there's sneezes that are like euphoric.
Yeah, that was. I might have to go take a cold shower after that sneeze.
Well, anyway, so Game of Thrones. So I was about to have some time off of work. I didn't have to go to work, right? This literally all happened within a week. So I go off work, and I was like, let me catch up. The season finale is like this Sunday, right? So at the time, I was into getting files wherever I could find them, not realizing that I have HBO and it was all on demand. So I get the whole first season.
The most
watched-
pirated show of all time.
100%, yeah.
No, it
I
is
watched-
statistically the most pirated show
I
of all time.
watched the entire first season, just binge through it. I burned through it in like a day.
I definitely watched like 5 of the 8 seasons illegally.
Yeah, oh yeah. So I binged through it in a day or 2 at the most. Like it didn't take very long. I start watching season 2, and there's a scene with the Dothraki talking,
Yes.
and
Yes.
there's
Oh, no.
subtitles.
Oh, and you don't have the subtitles.
Yep.
I thought that there was not meant to be subtitles. I
Oh my
didn't
god,
know
it was like Star Trek.
because the second season, yeah, exactly. So because the second season I was watching on HBO on demand instead of the
And you
first
were like,
season I was
"Holy shit."
watching pirated, and I didn't have the subtitles turned on, and I never went back and rewatched the first season. So there's so much dialogue I've probably missed from season 1.
Oh,
No,
there's
you
great-
basically got it all. No.
You shut your mouth, Colin. You
You
shut
basically understood everything. It was a lot of grunting. It was a lot of like misplaced masculinity,
uh-huh.
and you basically got the gist.
That means
And then-
Sean missed Moon of My Life.
I don't remember that at all. I've no
Oh
idea. Well,
shit! You totally didn't understand
missed-
Moon of My Life.
He missed all of Khal Drogo and all of that relationship.
Oh no, I saw him. It was he came across just fine.
Her back
And then
or what?
He knew he wanted to make a baby with her real bad.
I could tell.
Point made.
There was a lot of physical acting as well. I caught all the way up and through the Red Wedding before the season 3 finale the next week. I watched
What a
I
baller.
watched 29 hours of Game of Thrones in like
Well,
That was
6 days.
basically what I did with Better Call Saul. I watched all that was on Netflix and then had to watch all of season 6 in July, and then I had like 3 episodes that I actually watched like live with the rest of the world.
Mm-hmm.
And it is such a strange experience. Like, it is so weird. You feel like it's the
Can I
best.
just tell you, every time you adjust
description
your
of foam.
headphones, it gives me a brain aneurysm.
Does it really?
Yeah.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm about to
He's
sneeze
about to.
again, probably.
He's about to
Yeah.
sneeze again.
Oh, don't sneeze again, please. It's just that like these, I haven't found the right ear tips for them to not move when I talk.
I hate when the tips.
They're
not
great
right.
for listening, not great for talking, because my face moves and then my ears move, and then they get out of place. Welcome to the speakeasy.
So Dream of a Thousand Cats was actually animated in the Sandman, which I thought was really fascinating.
I saw some screen grabs from that. Rat roasting with
Listen,
what's
did
his
anybody
name?
see that in theaters? Because we're all okay. How old is
2003?
everyone?
I was born in 87, bro. I'm 35.
Okay, I'm 28.
29.
Okay,
I love having.
so I saw that movie with my dad.
What's his name? I can't remember his name.
Who's?
It's Homeboy. Rat Roaster. It's dude. I bet if I type in Rat Roaster Fast 2, it'll pop up.
Well, he's the corrupt cop in Batman Begins. Something Junior. Something Junior. I should know this.
You know who he also is? He's oh shit.
I'm talking about the guy who got roasted. He was also the corrupt cop in Fast 2 and Too Fast. He's all the corrupt cops.
He's dude. He's
The other guy was he's in Yellowstone. I don't remember his name though. I think he's like super white guy. I don't know. He's playing Dominican or
too
something like
furious. I'm too fast for y'all, man.
Come on, Curtis. John's in the chat. Mark Boone Jr. I knew it was Junior. Mark Boone Jr. Oh yeah, he was in Sons of Anarchy as well.
Yes, that's what it was. It was Sons of Anarchy.
Where did John go? John was in the chat. He would have had this real quick. Come on, man. Thank you, Curtis.
Too furious.
It's been a hot minute since I've seen that.
Well,
you know what? I just watched for the first time.
It's my favorite opening scene. I think.
What did you just watch, Sean?
The Godfather.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it. Have you watched The Offer?
No.
Bro.
No. Calm down. I just watched The Godfather for the first time last week.
Okay.
Like it was not. That was not a show that was on my radar. Other than fucking Christian on every single show he's done in the past 6 months, won't stop talking about it.
You know what else he won't stop talking about, Colin? The Sandman.
The Sandman. He's on episode 5, according to Capes and Cows that he did today or yesterday. Whenever
that must be recorded previous. I thought.
Sorry, I don't know who you're talking about. He doesn't know my name. I don't know his name.
That's fine.
That's such an old joke. I can just whip it out.
He certainly doesn't know my name.
I feel like he doesn't know my name.
No. I'm not talking about Mark Boone Jr. I'm talking about the dickhead who was there.
The main big guy. I can't remember his name.
Cole Hauser.
Cole Hauser, that's his name. Yeah, I knew it was Cole.
That's Cole Hauser.
Hmm?
He's in Dazed and Confused.
Okay.
Oh my god! You what?
Never seen Dazed and Confused.
Richard Linklater's fucking best movie ever.
I've never seen it.
Wow.
I've seen.
I have the DVD.
I've seen like clips.
Right.
So I just watched.
Cole Hauser
American
plays
Graffiti.
one of the. Whoa. You're getting it.
All right, Colin. So this is why you got to watch Sandman. Neil Gaiman just posted that they should, by the end of the month, know possibly if they're going to get a season 2.
Vapiano,
so
what was the question?
Depends on the viewership.
I just watched it. I
Because
just
they
watched
know
it like
nobody watches Netflix
4 days
shows
ago.
after the
Let me know.
first
Yeah, the Godfather was good.
People don't even.
Godfather.
Wait, say that the same way one more time.
Yeah, the Godfather was good.
Okay.
I liked part 1 more than part 2. I haven't watched part 3 yet. So basically, what I'm doing, and I haven't recorded anything yet. I'm waiting. Allison is doing her show on a weekly basis. Once she takes a break at the end of August or September, I can't remember what she's doing. You've never seen it. You've never seen it? I'm gonna go through and do a bunch of stuff that I've never seen, basically.
You know,
So,
Sean, have you not been on the show?
No, I haven't. We were gonna do Superman Returns, and we just haven't done anything yet. Anyway, so
is the show things that she hasn't seen, or is the show that guest hasn't seen?
No, the guest brings a movie to Allison to watch.
Okay.
He goes to Italy.
You would know that if you listen.
I believe he goes to Sicily.
He goes to Italy. Yeah.
Yeah, he goes back to his olive farm. What do you call olive grove, and kills the guy who killed his parents. Killed his mom, I guess. The other Don in that country.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who
tried to kill him as a child.
Yes.
So anyway, he goes to the town. He goes to
Quentin
the town of
Tarantino
Corleone
rip that
because
off?
he takes that name. What do you mean?
In Inglourious Bastards.
Never seen it.
What?
Oh my god,
Bro.
Sean.
I've seen bits and pieces. I've seen like the scene where the
Mike Myers
Fassbender and what's his face at the beginning.
Stop it. Stop it, Jesse. You're just showing off.
Mike Myers.
No, but the opening scene of that movie is a character getting away in the same sense of escaping some peril and then going on to live a life and then coming back to enact revenge.
Vapion, you're correct. I only read half of what you wrote. I saw Corleone and I just went off. I was thinking Robert De Niro in the flashback.
Oh, in Godfather Part 2.
Yeah,
Godfather Part 2,
yeah,
he goes
correct.
to Cuba.
Yeah, Michael goes to Cuba.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're and a coup ends up happening, and he's trying to take over for the other casino boss.
And then they have to get out of Cuba because Fidel Castro completes a successful revolution.
What about James Franco?
Zemo is in Inglourious Bastards. That is true.
He is Daniel Bruhl.
Mm-hmm.
He is a very famous actor. Have you not seen me?
Do you know Daniel Bruhl was in The King's Man? There was zero advertisement for that.
I haven't watched that yet.
I
mistakenly watched Spectre.
We got somebody over on
What's worse, The King's Man or Spectre?
Hello.
I've seen them both once. I've seen them only both once. I would say.
So which would you rather watch again?
Probably Spectre, only because I think that the Daniel Craig Bond films in general have more quality than the Kingsman films.
Well, 2/3.
But
films.
What if I got off more on The Boys than I did anything else? Would I like the Kingsman more? I love The Boys.
Did you see Bullet Train?
Not yet. No.
Oh, okay. Did you like the Kingsman movies? The first two, at least.
I love the first one with a raging hot passion of 1,000 suns.
Quick.
No, let me finish what I'm saying.
Fine.
You shut the fuck up.
All right.
Yeah.
I think that Bullet Train. If you liked Deadpool and if you liked the first Kingsman movie and the second one, Bullet Train is right up your alley. I really enjoyed it. Jesse said he didn't like it very much, because he hates fun.
I have the ability to turn off my
fun,
Rotten Tomatoes brain to watch a movie.
Curiato, how would we rate SheHULK episode 1? I really enjoyed it, and I like to rate things out of 100 because I think that people who use decimal points don't understand.
If we're rating out of 100, I give it an 83%.
That's about right.
I give it emotional 69, just for content's sake, and overall, I give it a 88. I really enjoyed it, honestly, for what it was and what it gave me. I think it laid itself out positively to succeed in the future. And it was great, but it has room to grow.
Yeah.
I think it established a solid baseline with who Jennifer is as a character, with what her world is and who she is and how she's going to exist in this world. It showed us that she can be She-Hulk, and people weren't scared of her. Let's be very clear. People weren't crying and screaming in the law office, in the courtroom when she goes Hulk. Every time Bruce goes Hulk, people are crying and screaming and hiding behind cars. they were hiding and screaming because somebody came to save her, but they recognized that she was there to save them. And I think that's an important point that the show was able to get across. Also, we talked about this on the review. I think the CGI looks fantastic. I think the way they're able to, like, we talked about this on the
Pretty sure that's how you would rate it.
Yeah.
I would rate it 88 out of 100.
Kiriata, I know you're watching on Twitch. We appreciate you being there. If you hop over to YouTube to Flick and Reel, you can watch the review that these two gentlemen plus our other friend Chris just did. And they did a whole review of episode 1.
For the record, the t-shirt I'm wearing in that thumbnail says Peter Tingle.
Nice.
Sup.
Just tired.
Curtis, the last one was great. I didn't really like Rami Malek as a villain. I thought he wasn't.
Oh, he didn't do it for it? I haven't seen it. I watched Spectre last weekend because I wanted to watch the new one, but then I was like, oh shit, have I not seen Spectre?
And you kind of need to see Spectre. I watched I saw
because Homegirl's in it, right? The girl's the same. I'm sure there's probably some Okay.
Vanessa's in?
She's great.
She's French. I can't remember her name.
Vanessa
and Christoph Waltz. No,
she's actually funny enough. Jesse, have you seen Inglourious Bastards?
Yes.
She is the girl from the opening scene in Inglourious Bastards.
Oh, is she really? I didn't know that.
It's been a long time.
So shut up. That's her running away in the fields, and then she grows up to be the actress that plays her in the older parts of the film. But now she's the Bond girl, which I was like, well, who made out better in the end?
Yeah. I mean, she plays a pretty big part in the movie, and Christoph Waltz plays a small part in the movie. But it was really good. I really enjoyed it. I went to see it with the Apocalypse crew, and leaving the theater, Jake Berlin was just crying because it's his favorite character of all time.
Random thought just popped in my head, and it doesn't have to be a whole new discussion, but did anybody else see Last Night in Soho? That movie just popped in my brain. And
no, I haven't.
Really enjoyed it.
With
it has popped up like many times, but like I mentioned, I don't like scary shit, and I saw people popping out of a motel, like type of deal, and I was like, I love all of you people, and I'm sure this is a great time, but I won't have a great time. Like the way some people, like the way I get about some movies is the way that some people look at a roller coaster and are like, fuck that. I look at a roller coaster and I'm like, let's roll. There's like maybe 2 roller coasters in the world I wouldn't get on. And but then there's like a billion movies I wouldn't watch because I know the way they're going to make me feel.
Can I just say, Last Night in Soho is not scary. There are moments of psychological thrillerness that lean supernatural, but
maybe Sean and I can watch it together. Maybe that's the only way we can do it.
I would love to watch that movie again. It was really good. But I also saw
Thank you, Sean got us out of it.
I also saw Black Phone, which is also another movie that I didn't find scary, but I also found good.
What movie?
The Black Phone.
Isn't it streaming on
Peacock? The movie, it's on Peacock because I try to watch soccer early in the mornings on the weekends, and what do I get? 7:30 a.m. Bam! You should watch Black Phone.
Hey, if you have a low tolerance for horror, I think you can watch Black Phone. To be honest, I
feel like
I have a Stranger Things tolerance.
Yeah, then you can.
I can't watch The Purge.
That's fine. You can if you.
Okay, well, his mask just kind of scared me. He's got a very scary Fortnite skin mask on.
Listen, I'm not going to say you're not going to be unnerved at all, but I don't think you'll be scared. Like it's just like when you're in a room with somebody that makes you uncomfortable. That's kind of what the movie feels like. You're like,
okay, well, I watched Joker. So my description of the Joker is a therapy session I walked into. I wasn't allowed to walk out of.
Yeah, you got it. Curtis agrees with me on Soho, so go watch it, guys. It also has Sean will be elated to know this. Terrence Stamp.
No, I love Terrence Stamp.
It's Zod, Sean, for your Superman fetish.
Oh, by the way, when I was not on screen, when you guys thought I wasn't on screen earlier,
good luck, baby. I don't think so.
Pre-show of our pre-production talk during the SheHULK, and you guys were just quoting Man of Steel, I was in the bathroom peeing, and I was like, I will find him! And my girlfriend's like, shut the fuck up. Like, nobody could hear me. I just had my earbuds in. The mic was muted. I had stepped away, but I'm just like, I will find him!
Krypton had its chance.
Krypton had its chance! It was perfect. It was
You will
absolutely
give the
amazing.
people of Earth an ideal to strive towards. They will
And
race
then
behind you.
I will laser
stumble.
beam a
They will
man
fall.
in the face.
But in
like
time,
I should.
they will join you in the sun. In time, they will accomplish wonders.
And then I will perform the worst Greek accent in the history of modern cinema.
Dude, there are some.
After I was literally one of the greatest Roman heroes in the history of the world and somehow pulled off a more believable Roman performance with a slightly not so Australian British accent.
Apparently, they filmed it twice. That's what I heard. That they recorded
That
it.
is insane.
They
to
recorded
me.
it. They recorded all his scenes, and because he wasn't in very much of the movie, but they recorded all his scenes in the accent we got, the kind of jokey, like
It was probably on the day he came back with Brett.
and then they did a regular one too. Maybe I
That's
don't know.
yeah.
It's wild. There are so many good movies, at least movies that I
Can
enjoyed
you guys
this year.
read this from here? Probably not.
No.
And hold on, I can do it. I can
Was
do it. Hold on. You were almost
hold on.
there.
Let's give you
Hold
a
on.
single. Stand by.
And tilt it back towards you.
Slight.
And
Nope.
more to the middle. No, more to the middle.
Right there. Oh,
Yep. We had it.
And that's
How
where,
about you just send me the tweet and I can
and
read it.
that's why
And that's why
Zod.
Zod.
Let's do. I think I read
Hold
it
on.
on
Can
Twitter.
Can I do her voice?
What?
Ready?
Go
Yeah.
for it.
Ready? And that's why Zod and Man of Steel is a top 2 comic book villain. And in almost 10 years, Man of Steel is still DC's best movie and some of Hans Zimmer's best work.
That's great, Elmo. Thank you.
You fucking nailed it. I love that.
Did you guys see my tweet of that?
That was better than
No.
ASMR.
So
I
tweet of
I think I like Bullet Train more than Nope.
Well, I have to ask you a question before I just say it.
I'm back.
I haven't seen Nope or Bullet Train, so you can knock me out. But I'm
Colin doesn't see movies actually.
But you know what's better than both of them? Prey, 'cause that movie fucks.
that movie does.
Nice.
Fun.
So my version of that meme was Avatar: The Last Airbender is actually the story of Sokka and his journey to become a man worthy of true love. My guy had pull to get the moon to fall in love with him, but she chose the sky over life with him. Imagine. That's my version of dumb bitch white
does.
girl adder.
Yes,
Prey
he does,
fucked.
Curtis.
Sokka
Yes, he
fucked.
does.
Sokka. Yes, that's rough, buddy. That's literally my favorite gift to send to people that have no idea what that means.
Do you know? So I saw Avatar for the first time 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago. I went right through Avatar and then Korra. It was just a one solid binge.
Nice. I never got a chance to see it in theaters, but it was during the 3D craze, and I might go see it when they
You
re-release
shut the
it.
fuck up, Sean.
Hey, listen, dude. Do you like the way your face is currently situated? Like, dude, like, listen. All right. When people say, well, at least the Avatar blue people have a theme park. Fuck you. Go to New Jersey. There's actually a Nickelodeon theme park that once existed, and there was an Avatar theme park right there. Kiss on that. Like, come on.
I would rather rewatch The Last Airbender 5 times before going to Pandora. So, suck on that.
Oh, wow.
Hey, Pandora's pretty sick. Like,
Yeah, but
at
it's
Disney
not
World,
Last
that
Airbender.
ride is majestic.
Ferngully was great, guys. Calm down. I lied because I did see Avatar when I was like 6 years old. It was called Ferngully, The Last Rainforest.
Yeah, and I think Tim Curry did the role better than Stephen Lang.
What'd you say, Vapion? Top 2 comic villain to Killmonger and Vulture get Cronenberg together at #1. What?
Well, it was a little blurry. I actually said top 5, but I also not Marvel, so it's of all comic book villains of all time. And I'm sorry, Killmonger and Vulture are not in my top 5 of all time.
Ooh, okay, real quick. Can you give us your top 5 superhero properties in movie form? Not, I say superhero because I'm going to include the Incredibles, and it's not a comic book.
Like, are we talking totality of the IP, or are we talking a specific
Movies.
variation of
Films.
the IP?
A
Right,
film.
but do I have to delineate between Andrew Garfield, Tobey Maguire, and Tom Holland, or can I just say Spider-Man in general?
Film. A film.
A film.
Okay.
A film.
Top
Yeah,
5
not characters. A film.
Okay.
So kind of what's your top 5 comic book movies is what you're saying?
Yeah. Well, that's why I said superhero, just because Incredibles are in my top 5. And I was thinking about it.
Right. I'm going to throw this out here real quick because I think I've had the same 5 for a long time. Winter Soldier, Logan, Hellboy, Batman 89, Man of Steel. Not in that order.
Okay, so not in order.
No.
Okay.
Okay, so I got.
And then there's like 30 things tied for 6.
Hold on, let me go to my letterbox.
I think I have 2 Superman films on my list. Gotta be honest. I don't know. It's a living list. Top 5 is hard to do. I know I threw this question out there, and I don't know. Okay, if you said, hey, you have to watch a superhero film of some kind right now, what are you choosing?
Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is exactly that is
That's
my
the
number
only.
1.
I really
That's
think
the
that
movie.
is the. I think that is the movie.
That is
the movie that benefited most of having learned mistakes from other movies and was also able to innovate and was able to create something new.
Bagel.
I need the Step Bros gift. Did we just become best friends? I was going to say the same thing.
Yeah.
Man of Steel, Logan, Winter Soldier, and Guardians of the Galaxy.
We have 3 of the same top 5. That's hot.
I was going to say Superman 78 as well, but I think Man of Steel kind of covers what I love most about him. And Guardians and Winter Soldier are such different movies.
True.
That they're, as far as like differences of what they do. I also love No Way Home as well. I've seen it so many times.
Okay.
Are you going to go back for 11 minutes? I am not for the 11 minutes, but just to see it in theaters again, I think.
I mean, I'm sure my kid would love to go see it.
Also, next Friday, I think it's next Friday, Rogue One returns to IMAX theaters. So I'm going to go see Rogue One.
Rogue One is the second best Star Wars movie behind The Last Jedi.
I wasn't going to agree with you until you finished that sentence.
I have nice things
Curtis,
to say about the
you
Last
love Superman
Jedi,
10?
but not that nice. Okay.
Curtis' favorite
All
movie,
right.
Superman 10.
All right, folks. Here's how we're rolling here. We're going with Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse,
Okay.
Infinity War,
Oh, okay.
Dark Knight,
Okay.
shit. This is like I gotta put the Incredibles on there because it's just so fucking good.
Yeah, the
Can I just say
Incredibles.
Incredibles 2 is underrated? I'm not saying
It is very underrated. It is very underrated. I had some issues with just like some of the
It's
visual
not perfect,
effects,
but it's underappreciated.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the Incredibles might bump Guardians for my number 5 then. I did say I was going to put it on there. I totally did.
I want
And
an
you know
Incredibles 3 just so I can put Incredibles trilogy and How to Train Your Dragon trilogy against each other.
And number 5, like just a movie I enjoy endlessly
Iron
every
Giant.
single time I watch it. No, I really do think it's going to. It's Guardians. Like Guardians 1 is just so pure of genuine energy. Of hi, we're here, we exist. Here is a great time. Here is a movie. Here is just something that loosely exists in something that has deeper meaning. Here it is.
And we get to see Steve Rogers' daughter, who is Peter Quill's mom.
You need to stop with that shit. Just because they were played by the same actress, that was just like great work by her agent. Honestly, we need to be applauding her agent, not
All
Kevin.
right,
Not shaming Kevin Feige.
We had you asking for autographs. Let's get you back in there. Let's kill you in the first 10 minutes of the movie.
I was just talking.
Let's give her a southern accent and strip her out of 1939 New York.
Mm-hmm. Take my hand, bang. Peter. Take my hand.
Right, totally different.
Lauren and I were talking about how Natalie Dormer's character definitely wanted to in the movie, and then we just fantasized for a moment what Chris Evans and Natalie Dormer's kids would look like. Because
speaking of Natalie Dormer, Game of Thrones, and actually Hunger Games at the same time. There was the first image released of the new Hunger Games movie,
A Ballad of Snakes and Songbirds.
With
like that.
Yes.
With the chick from
Viola Davis.
I'm very excited. They've down here.
Rachel Zegler, yeah.
Rachel Zegler, yeah. I'm down here in the Carolinas, and I was just up in Asheville 4th of July weekend with my grandparents, and they were up there filming. Like, they're back. Like they're getting prepped. Like this is kind of like where they did all the District 12 shit and all that stuff.
Thanks,
all the content's coming back, folks.
Thanks, I hate it. Stop giving us prequels. I'm so done with prequels. Okay, listen. The only reason I'm not as excited about Game of Thrones returning is because it's a prequel. Otherwise, I'd be more excited because I really enjoyed Game of Thrones. I didn't hate the season.
Well, let me ask you this: if they do Star Wars Old Republic, are you not going to be excited?
I'd rather see other things. Not to say I won't enjoy the show for the quality that it presents, and if
that's
cool,
a fair
I'm gonna
question
watch
to ask, Jesse, because the Old Republic exists and Fire and Blood, the novel, exists. Well, these are things that exist that we know we are getting, some sort of an adaptation of. Whereas you would rather prefer seeing the Arya on a boat or Jon Snow show, which we know are existing. So if we take away your want for things that we know are coming, this is a show that on its own is based off of something that is complete, unlike the show that's come before.
I'm not talking about Game of Thrones. I'm talking about conceptually for prequels in general. I'm sick of seeing prequels. I want to see stories move on, not show me what happened in the past.
I would like Andor
to be fair, the writer of the story has not written those stories yet. So, like, you're getting what you can get based off of what George R. R. Martin has written.
I'm just talking about conceptually, and like that guy who you don't know his name. His name is Christian. He tweeted out that thing last week. I don't know, and it kind of blew up. Like he got like 1,000 fucking likes on it. He was like, "Which show are you most excited about?" And it was like She-Hulk, Game of Thrones, Andor, and Lord of the Rings. And I said the one that's not a prequel, which is She-Hulk. That was the one I'm most excited about. I'm just tired of seeing prequels. I want to
technically She-Hulk's a prequel to Ms. Marvel. Chronologically,
you know what I mean.
The first episode of She-Hulk was a prequel to the next 7 episodes of She-Hulk.
Exactly, and they haven't come out yet, though. I don't know the story they're telling. I know the other.
If we can put all of that aside, what is your excitement level to see people burned alive by a dragon? Because I'm sorry, like storytelling aside and all that shit, I just want to watch people get burned alive by dragons. I think that's really fucking cool. Wait till like
season 7 for it to happen.
You're not. There's literally like 9 confirmed dragons are going to be in this season, and there will be 9? There are 7. There are 20 different dragons.
There are 84 dragons. 87 dragons confirmed.
So there are 20 in the book. There are 17 that are confirmed going to be referenced in the show.
So
9 confirmed will be seen.
Orphan First Kill came out, or the first movie came out like 10 years ago or something like that. Right. The prequel, which came out this weekend, is played by the same actress who was like 12 in the first movie and is now like 25 years old, and she's playing herself in the prequel. I don't know if it works. I saw some random review on TikTok, and the guy was like, much like the actress's age and the character she's playing, this movie doesn't work.
Do you know the actress
Like,
they
all
had
right.
for Annabelle the doll in The Conjuring? They used the same actress for Annabelle Creation.
You talking about Vera Farmiga?
No, I was talking about the doll.
Did you just
I meant
Same doll.
The doll person? No, Orphan First Kill. I don't know her name. She's like 25 years old. She's not very from like I said, older.
Isabel Furman?
That sounds right. Black hair,
Yep.
dark eyes. Yeah, I think so. I think
Yep.
that sounds like her.
Looks scary as fuck. Yep.
Yeah.
That's her. Oh yeah, she was Clove in the Hunger Games.
Was she in there?
Yep.
Yo. Oh, speaking of it, you know who plays Moaning Myrtle? Also voiced. Did
yes.
she voice like Babu Frick or something? Was that?
Yes.
Am I wrong on that?
Yeah.
That's what I was reading. She's like 57 years old. Like what?
Quite impressive.
Yeah, she was in her 30s or something during like late 30s.
She must have
when
been in her
played
40s.
Mortal. Yeah.
Shirley Henderson, I think her name is. Yeah, she I did not. Granted, she was like translucent, so like you guys couldn't really tell.
She is 56. So
right?
she was 36 years old playing a 15, 16-year-old student.
Right. It's like Tom Welling in Smallville.
Guys.
No, but Sean, to go back to your point of prequels,
Sorcerer's Stone is 21 years old. Go.
like I totally understand the fatigue.
Mhm.
There is definitely a fatigue of like, and I mentioned Better Call Saul, a prequel, but like probably the most successful prequel in terms of being able to enhance the former material, which like you haven't seen Breaking Bad, but the ability of it to enhance that material is so unique that I think it'll set the stage for better prequels to come. I think we've, the Star Wars prequels have walked where Better Call Saul could run.
Sure. I mean, they're all trying it. Let's tell the story. All right, here's 3 movies of Star Wars. Let's tell that story. Here's Boba Fett. Let's tell that story. Here's technically even The Mandalorian, it's kind of a prequel because it's set in the past. And let's tell the story. Oh, here's Obi-Wan. And womp, everything's womp, womp, womp. Come on.
Yeah, and that's a Star Wars problem. That's a Star Wars problem.
Use creative storytelling and maybe a flashback to those times, sure, within your future show. Use what has happened as history to push story forward.
I think that might be what Andor could give you, to give you some Andor hype. I think Andor will do a beautiful job of giving you the turnover from Republic to Empire and the buildup of the Trade Federation and those outlying planets, that they'll build some sense of a threat to the normal people and some kind of thing that will, because that's how that story's going to go. He's going to be not a rebellion spy at first. He's going to be.
I kind of agree.
Like, he's not going to be in the rebellion at the jump.
Yeah, but I don't give a shit about any of that, to be honest.
I agree about.
Well, that's fine. It's going to look beautiful. That's kind of all.
It looks great, and I'm sure it'll be well acted. I just don't give a shit about the story they're positing.
It's not a prequel though.
You sound really good when you're really close to the mic, like up on the. When you're on,
I kind of like it. Can you do it again?
You sound super deep and close and clean.
So what's not a prequel would be the Sandman on Netflix.
I need you to get a mic arm so you can have your mic right in your face the whole time, like me. Because when it's farther away, you sound echoey. Like you can hear like the echo of the room.
How's this?
But when you're super close, like it sounds like professional. It sounds good.
I just bring it up front here.
Yeah, just you get. See, this is like touching my lip. Like it's like here.
Right as we improve the audio for the listeners.
Or just get an iMac, because apparently my iMac sounds better than a Razer mic.
Oh, I didn't say your iMac sounds good, just less bad.
It was just less bad than the Razer mic you had. Colin, if you want to buy my Elgato, I'll ship it to you.
Colin Robinson.
Colin Robinson.
Not better than me calling Chris Anthony Rogers.
Colin Robinson is an actual individual.
I don't know who that is.
You don't know
I'm
who
sorry, I
Colin
don't.
Robinson is? I need
Col-
the two people in the chat to light Colin up right now.
Do you want my Elgato mic?
That's cute. Does it connect USB-ly?
Yeah, it's a USB mic. It's a USB
All right,
C
I'll DM you. I'll talk
on the
to you.
back. I got the beacon mic because it's more like a what's the Shure SM7B? That's the good one that all the podcasters use. This is the USB version of that instead of getting a DS or an XLR.
Yeah, I was using my Best Buy card, and
Cats.
I was like, oh, let's do that. But yeah, cats. We love cats here.
Cats. And so what I have to do is I need to watch the episode. That's going to take an hour and a half, and then I need to edit your review. I guess I could probably edit it without like really paying attention and still watch it afterwards. Because I already know the story. I just listened to it last week.
That's what I was gonna say. Like,
Netflix played that pretty well. Nothing else came out today.
Yeah, it blew up. I saw it last night because Garth retweeted something. Garth McMurray, and I was like, "What?" And then I went and looked on Netflix. I was like, "There's a whole new episode." And then I started texting Jesse in our group chat. I think he was already asleep. And then Garth responded on Twitter. He's like, "No, I'm pretty sure Jesse already knows because you retweeted Neil Gaiman." I'm like, "Yeah, but his tweet was so mild. It was like, I hope we get another episode."
Well, the thing is, like,
it wasn't like announcing an episode.
The episode stuff leaked like 4-ish days ago, and so we've all been pestering Netflix and Neil Gaiman, like, what the fuck was that? And he's like, I don't know. And
so they went and filmed something over the week.
Yeah, watch it
just for you.
Yeah, you can't really spoil it because, like you said, it's in the title. The title is Dream of a Thousand Cats / Calliope. So
Calliope, yeah.
You know, if you know the story, it is very much exactly the stories. Those two stories. One's like 18 minutes, and the other one's like 40, and that's one episode. And what I was saying to Colin is, like, we could talk about it and it wouldn't spoil anything for you because it has nothing to do with this season, especially the cats, but the Calliope stuff, because it introduces the concept or mentions Morpheus' son. Again, that has nothing to do with this season, but it will come into play later.
I gotta be honest, I was underwhelmed by the Orpheus
story.
It was one single like episode and very, very like had nothing to do with anything.
Well, you got more Joanna.
And they don't really touch on it at all in season 1. They do on the Audible in Act 1, but his baby, whom he names
Daniel.
Yeah, but that never comes into play other than the baby being in the dream world with Eve, but like
yet
Morpheus never. Oh well, I guess in what I heard, I get they're because they didn't develop everything for Audible,
huge.
Right?
In the comics, huge, yeah. It's kind of
so. I'm just going off the Audible stuff because they stopped at Act 2, right?
Right.
So
I hope that just because we have the show doesn't mean they're not gonna do. Because I just need Sandman content, so like I could use another act to get me to another season.
To be honest, I would think that would motivate them to do more. Like, oh, this blew up and the show spurned it on even more.
Yeah, now
I had a whole conversation with them at Twitter. Fucking Audible started tweeting me back. They're like, "What's your favorite part?" And I answered them, and they're like, "Oh, yeah, we're not going to respond." Why'd you ask me?
Hey, remember when I was like, "Yo, where's my screener?" And Neil Gaiman was like, "Check your junk folder." And I was like, "Oh my god!" Neil Gaiman just told me to check my junk folder. There it is.
He just told you to learn how to read.
Colin's hearing about this for the first time.
What?
Yeah,
because he signed up for like an early release newsletter thing.
So that I can watch the first episode 2 days early, and I was like, "Yo, where's it at?" Everyone says they got theirs.
I'm supposed to have it. Well, check your fucking email.
Yeah, Neil told me what's up. Any hoot ways.
I don't understand junk folders and emails. So my daughter, like, she's in cheer, so I get emails all the time from like the head of the cheer organization, like, "Oh, here's our schedule for the week, this and that." Every other email from her goes to my junk folder. I don't understand how it happens. I added it to my contact list on my phone. and in the email box, and it
Also,
still goes
the
to the
amount of
junk
stuff
folder.
that
I don't
gets
get it.
through that's not considered junk. I was like, this is
So much.
obviously junk and spam, and it's in my inbox. But my invitation to watch Sandman 2 days early is in my junk folder.
They're like, why would Netflix be sending you an email?
Yeah, you're not important, and you're right. Well, I think that's a good stopping point, guys.
Sure.
So I appreciate everyone that came and hang out with us, including Colin and Colin Robinson and everyone in the chat, and Chris Anthony Lopez earlier for the She-Hulk stuff. Hope everyone had fun. We'll be doing this again next week with She-Hulk episode 2, and also talking about Game of Thrones. I already forgot when we're doing that next week. Is that gonna be in the Speakeasy? It might be, and maybe Colin wants to come back and talk about Westworld.
Hey, bro, I'll do a fucking episode on Sunday night.
I was gonna say we don't know. We should not wait. Let's have this production meeting right now. We
Sure.
should not wait until Friday or Thursday
not.
because Game of
If
Thrones comes out on
If
Sunday.
you want somebody to come on your channel and talk
I think
about fucking
Mondays.
Game of
We
Thrones,
talked about Mondays, I think.
If we want someone
I
to come
do
on
a
and
Monday
talk about fucking
sports show,
Colin
but
is
if
down.
you want to do something like early in the mornings, like
When's your sports show though? Because this would probably be late. Because I get off at 5:30 PST. I gotta get home and get stuff going and stuff.
around then.
So
We'll figure it out.
I'm already hating all the editing that I'm doing for the Sandman reactions because there's a lot and like I wasn't used to this and I've been
I
editing
can't
everything.
do reactions.
Well,
I gotta like pause the show. And
Yeah,
Colin's got a
fucking
board.
run
I'm not
around
talking
my
about you.
apartment and shit.
I'm not talking about you. I'm talking out loud. I think I might do a reaction though for Game of Thrones because it's only one a week. I don't have to edit fucking 10 or 11
Yeah.
episodes
Yeah.
and get them out as soon as possible. I could
That's
do
fair.
one because it takes like 3 or 4 hours to edit them down and do the thumbnails and do everything. But I might maybe stay tuned if you're watching this after the fact to the channel. I might do reactions for Game of Thrones. We'll see how I feel come Sunday if I have time.
Yeah, but because you guys only like when Sean does reactions, don't count on a episode 2 She-Hulk watch along because none of y'all showed up for that. So thanks
Yeah.
for nothing.
We really got like I was actually gonna take that video and I downloaded the episode. I was gonna chop it up as a reaction, but that's a lot of work and I don't want to do that. I still have to. So the next episode of the Sandman reactions are going to be Allison for 7, 8, 9, and then Jesse for 10. And you can currently see episode 6 up on the channel right now, where you'll see me cry on screen like a little baby.
Coming up, lots of crying. Sandman makes you cry. That makes pussy throb.
Love it.
Did you?
Wow. Holy shit.
Was this episode that emotional for you?
There's just one bit.
Okay.
And it was my first thought is I don't want to see that. And I saw it and I said, I'm sad.
Oh.
Guys, I will say, and I just need to put this out on the internet, that there was a moment in Better Call Saul where I got more emotional at seeing an electronic parking meter than I was in all of season 4 of Westworld, and it really upset me. We can end the episode.
That Westworld wasn't good enough.
You heard Colin.
Yeah,
Said we could
I
end the
got
episode.
more emotionally invested in a parking situation, to which if you've seen any of Better Call Saul, a person manning a parking situation is important, and he gets replaced by an electric parking thing, and you're like, wow, that's emotional. They've moved on.
Yo, I got emotional at this like community college advertisement where it's like this mom and she's working hard. She makes it to the factory. She becomes a manager. She's leading the line. And then all of a sudden the owners bring in all these like mechanical arms and it takes over her job. And now she has no job. And I was like, oh, fucking get her. She's trying to raise her kids. She's a single mom.
Damn.
It was tough. It was like a
That's rough,
45-second commercial.
That's
That is
right,
rough.
buddy.
It was like it was very quick.
That's how we should end every show.
Do you get
That's
more
rough, buddy.
emotional at like sad things or overcoming things or like
Oh, definitely
or like
overcoming things. Like
acts
Make a
or like
Wish.
acts
Like
of
Make a
service
Wish on
someone
ESPN.
else?
Anytime a kid like beats cancer or is like battling cancer, way more emotional than like somebody like actually dying.
Sad things are typically the last thing to make me cry most of the time.
What's
Like
up, Brent? We're going. We're here. We're about to end actually. But
yeah,
Curtis got me. Yeah, the parking thing hit me too. I've never felt more seen. Thank you, Curtis. I appreciate that.
I will sob at dogs greeting soldiers and then watch somebody get brutally murdered and be like, eh.
I don't know how I'll get onto like military returns from overseas TikTok, but I'll see like 6 videos in a row of just like people coming home.
Oh,
from,
that was
and
a
I'll
huge
just
thing.
all of them.
When I was at South Carolina and we were in band, there would be people that would get like a reunion at the stadium.
Mm.
And it's like, you're there. Like, I'm like on the sidelines trying to go on a halftime to do our show. And meanwhile, homeboy's reuniting with his family he hasn't seen in like 36 months. And you're like, whoa, like this is heavy. Meanwhile, I have to go play the trumpet.
go play that trumpet.
Go Cox.
Brent,
go
one of us did. I haven't watched it yet. Colin's way behind, but stay tuned till tomorrow morning, and Jesse's review will be out. I'm going to shoot for about 10 a.m. tomorrow, so stay tuned for that.
Can't wait for that.
Awesome. But until then, you can watch our replays of this episode since you missed it. We've been hanging out for a little over an hour, and you can also watch our replay of SheHULK episode 1 review, which was a ton of fun to watch these guys. And then you can also go back and watch all our Sandman reactions. Episode 6 just dropped, and episode 7 will be out Monday with Allison doing the reaction.
Why do I keep laughing at your tears? Am I a bad friend?
Yes, you're terrible. You're a terrible person.
Well, you know how to sign off, Sean. Say the words.
But let's hit the video. Bye.
Keep it real. Bye.